Yeah, I think the thing that I'd like to communicate to the future leaders of the church is that if I could just be very generic and say those of us on the religious right, let's just say we're on a religious right, we have squandered the high moral ground of earth stewardship, which I consider to be a cornerstone of Christian credibility. You know, what happened was that the romantic, Bysshe, Shelley, and Keats, the English poets, the Romanticists, built this framework of environmentalism, of stewardship. And then of course along came Aldo Leopold and John Muir and Audubon and these guys, and they were all creation worshipers. Meanwhile, the Christian community was busy, building businesses and investing in Wall Street and endorsing the capitalist theme, so that by the time the 40s and 50s came along, our side actually viewed the environmentalist movement as satanic. They're a bunch of creation worshipers, a bunch of tree hugger, loonies. And then of course that was simply bolstered with the hippie movement, the back to the land, Mother Earth, nature movement, to the point where many people saw anyone who talked about integrity food or organic food as being part of a cult, some sort of a food cult. And as a result, those of us in a religious right who should have owned the high moral ground of earth stewardship, we are God's stewards of His creation, and does it matter then how we steward it? Do we just take dominion to the point where there are no ethics, and whatever my brain is clever enough to conceive and whatever I can extract from it, that's my dominion mandate. We took that and ran with it to the point where by the mid-70s it was pretty clear that the religious right was in bed, in cahoots with the industrial food system, the Monsantos, if you will, of the world. and so the whole notion of where does the repository of earth stewardship, humane animal care, those kind of things, where does that exist? Well, it has now come to exist in the earth, the creation worshipers, instead of the creator worshipers. And I would suggest that when we reaffirm and reassert our mandate as creator stewards, as worshiping the creator, and therefore we steward His creation, we will actually garner to our side a tremendous amount of moral high ground, and in fact an audience with people that we normally wouldn't have an audience with. Our schools should be serving food of integrity, food of moral integrity. Our Christian schools should be feeding food of moral integrity. I mean, we have all this hoo-ha about having all of our catechism right, and then we squander that high ground over here. Potlucks. There's no reason to use styrofoam plates at a potluck. I mean, when I fly, I don't even drink the water because I don't want to have a plastic cup. We got to think about these things. And so I would encourage, future, Christian leaders and pastors and people to realize that, you don't have to be necessarily a tree hugger and go, save the baby whales, but you need to at least appreciate God asks us to husband, to steward his creation. We're supposed to make it beautiful. We're supposed to make it more functional. We're supposed to leave it in better shape than it is. And islands of plastic floating on the ocean, that's not leaving it better than it was. And so we need to, that needs to be on our radar. We need to put that on our radar. And when we do, you know what? It's suddenly that caring, that environmental caring mentality overflows into caring for each other and our families, caring for our neighbors. What it does is it gets theology out of just a cerebral academic exercise and puts feet to it. And that is a wondrous place to be.